Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me.
I'm Ash from South Wales.
I'm Andy from New South Wales.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, what's that sound?
What is it?
It sounds like Egypt? No. Could it be Alexandria? Oh! Sorry, Bruce. There we go, guys. Welcome back, guys. Second video.
Second video?
Yeah, and...
Second camera?
Oh, we got the anti-cam.
Hey.
Andy gets his own camera.
Mm.
What's up, guys? So, yeah, big news. So we're back, guys. The podcast is going to be pretty regular now as we are able to meet because, little Ante, got a little studio. Very nice.
Mm.
And, yeah, basically, guys, thank you, anyone. Like, the video version of this podcast is just an extra thing. It's on Patreon because it has to be so we don't get flagged.
Mhm.
I might try uploading some videos to YouTube to see if it works, if we don't get flagged. Because I did do an Iron Maiden video on my personal YouTube channel called Rashchild. It's just a bunch of guitar bollocks.
Not a bad channel.
Yeah, it's just, how to do things, whatever. But I did an Iron Maiden video and it got copyrighted, but they didn't delete it. So
that's good.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to, like I said, the Patreon, I wish the Patreon could be free. I don't want, it just has to be, you have to charge minimum of $1. So if you want to support the podcast, you can just do that.
Yeah.
But we will try to keep uploading clips and video to the YouTube channel that we have. And until then, the audio will always be free. So don't worry about that, guys.
Not going anywhere.
That's right. So, Ante, what time is it now?
I don't know.
I know. Minutes to midnight. And guess what? What do you do that thing after, when you're playing sports?
A number 2?
No.
Run!
Live to fly.
Love that track.
I know. And you know what? I was working the other day, and I'm the boss, and my colleague, my what's that word? Employee. I was like, "Do this," and he was like, "Tell me why I have to be." I was like, "'Cause you do what you're told."
Yeah.
Biatch.
Work slave by day.
Power slave by night. Still great, right? Still love it. All right, guys. So, here we are today. We're going to carry on with the old Maiden, what's it called? Early years. But before we do that, let's check out some news. I was scrolling on the old Twitter today.
What's the news?
I made a little post, and it's called "The Devil's in Those Great Details." Great with a capital G. Alexander the Great. Ante, we have not got to that. That's going to be next podcast. We're going to start listening to Somewhere in Time. By Iron Maiden, next album. And Alexander the Great is one of the songs from that album. Very, very popular song. Never played live until recently. So it's been a big deal for a lot of people. And so they're promoting it. This seems like it's a teaser for the upcoming tour, which we will be attending in Osaka, Japan, where we live.
Countdown is on, man.
That's right. We're literally booking hotel.
Yeah.
Talking about that earlier.
Yep.
Mate, capsule hotel, that'll do. Anywhere, near the station, whatever. Money is no object. I don't care. I will pay anything because it's Iron Maiden, for God's sake.
Oh, you're paying the hotels? 5 stars it is?
3-star?
Oh, okay.
There we go. We're only staying for literally, we're staying in a capsule hotel, which is basically like a body in a box situation.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And and we'll be going to see them. But in the meantime, they have this little, look at the screen right now.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Alexander the Great, of course, he's got so the shields they have is like a teaser, right? So from the left, it looks like the Senjutsu latest album.
You're right.
It's one of the Snake Samurai things, I think. The next one that's the Next album, that's the Can I Play with Madness thing. So
Okay, yeah.
Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Mm.
Please play more. Oh man, there's a song on that album called, it's the last song. It's called Only the Good Die Young.
Yeah.
It is one of my top 3 Maiden songs.
Mm.
The bass on that song is insane. Like when you hear Steve Harris just doing, there's a part where he just has like a bass solo.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I live for that shit. That's all I want to hear all the time.
I bet he enjoyed it.
Oh, it's glorious. And the chorus is so poppy. It's unbelievable. I have no idea why it's not a bigger song. But when I was in college, there was a guy who was an Iron Maiden fan who looked exactly like Adrian Smith.
Yeah.
And he was a Maiden fan. He loved that song too. And he would always quote the first line, and the first line is, "The demon in your mind will rape you in your bed and mind."
Wow.
Imagine a guy walking around a college campus saying that to people he met. He was not popular.
Good opening line on a date. What?
I just had a flashback of that guy.
What?
We went to, I think I might have mentioned this before, we went to a gig.
Yeah.
And we brought our friends who are like not rock people, the chavs. And they ended up having a fight with that guy because, they were saying, because the band on stage was like a metal band, like a band. And they were like, what the fuck, this shit, this fucking shit. And they was like, that's my friend. And it was a big fight, whatever.
Punch on.
Yeah, it was a punch up. Yeah, it was good fun though, good fun. And then the next one over here, I can see it's, oh no, that's the Senjutsu one. That's the samurai one. The right one is Somewhere in Time.
So what's this one then?
Well, I think it's a song. Is one of, so the new album they released like these like album covers for the songs individual. It looks like one of them.
Okay, because what is that? It's like serpents coming out of the.
Yeah, so one of the songs, I can't remember which one on the new album has got that image. If anyone knows, please let us know what it is. I'm not
Is
sure
that
right now.
Eddie or is that Alexander?
That's
Ediander.
Alexander Reddy.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work. Yeah, but it's good. It's a good one, right?
Yep.
And it's a great song. But anyway, moving on. Some more news. Oh god, these these TikTokers are doing anything to get the likes anymore. So, do you play the bagpipes? Yeah, I do. Why not do an Iron Maiden version? Let's listen to this bird. Sorry, lady. Okay, this is the bagpipe version of Hallowed Be Thy Name. Here we go.
Fuck off and don't be a twat.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. It sounds like a Casio keyboard doing it,
Yeah, you're right, actually.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's that good.
Let's hit the demo button.
Anyway, guys, Sorry, that was just in my mind then. So, guys, let's carry on with the old early years, part 2.
Point, he changes into
Okay.
the
So you can see us on screen right now. If you don't watch with us, it's from 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Let's just crack on with this Martin Birch, old Marty.
a person to the point of where he starts talking to
So Martin Birch is a lovely guy. When he drinks, he's not a lovely guy.
Bit of a twat?
Bit of a twat.
Okay.
Standard, like Ante.
trees and starts threatening trees. And you think I'm joking, I'm not.
And we went to the Water Loop Club and it was time to leave at 5 in the morning or whatever, or 6 in the morning.
All right. Steve Harris there, guys. If you're not a native English speaker, you would be like, no way is that English.
Yeah.
Right. Look what he's saying, right?
And we went to the Water Loop Club and it was time to leave at 5 in the morning or whatever, or 6 in the morning. We couldn't find him.
Like, in the morning, we can't find him. It sounds like, right?
So what?
Yeah. So, because I'm British, I can understand exactly what he's saying.
yeah.
Like, but like, if you're even Americans would have trouble with it. I've seen people saying, like, I have no idea what the fuck he's saying, because the Cockney accent, especially East London, it just gets really bad. But
I do that every now and then. My wife's Japanese.
Yeah.
Her English isn't too bad,
Yeah.
but like something on YouTube, or it might be a different English accent.
yes,
I'm talking Australian, New Zealand. Or,
Yeah.
Can you understand this?
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. That's true. Because of course, like in English, there's so many accents, and if you're even Americans struggle with British English, and if you are like in Japan, they have dialects, but it's quite broad, and everyone speaks the standard dialect. But like it's kind of like we live in Hiroshima. The whole Hiroshima prefecture would speak, Hiroshima Ben, as it's called.
Yeah.
But in the UK, it's like, this street's accent, the next street's accent, and they're completely different.
Wow, yeah.
So
yeah.
if your wife, spoke to you in Australian, listened to Australian English, when you transferred it to another accent, it definitely could be difficult. So yeah, I understand that. Anyway, Steve, fucking hell, open your mouth, stop mumbling.
And we searched everywhere, and in the end we found him over the other side of this wall, just absolutely like out like this. And we said he just looks like a starfish on the beach. So that was it. It was Martin Starfish Birch.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally one has to let a little steam off, you know what I mean?
And he once said to me, I am the captain and we are sailing of the sea of uncertainty. So after that, I sort of always gave Martin Birch a wide berth.
There it is again, guys. The reason why this song exists, Lost for Words only exists for DVD intervals.
That's it.
Very interesting, because he nearly gave up music completely to study karate in Japan.
And at that time, Bruce was the major fencing buff. He carried
Listen, Bruce, I do karate. We don't have a bloody sword. You got a bloody sword, a rapier. Ante-cam.
Thrust.
his tackle around with him all the time, right? And he had these fencing foils. He'd be out there practicing.
Foils.
Be seeing him. Everybody had a little bit much fun one night. And we had karate versus fencing.
Now, when the UFC started, I don't think they had karate versus fencing. They had karate versus boxing, but not fencing. They missed out there.
Marvin decided that his karate could beat Bruce's fencing.
Ooh.
And so they're drunkenly dueling about the place. And I don't think he did, actually, the length of the...
Yeah, it's no contest,
foil.
right?
Yeah.
No one sets out to get drunk, do they? I mean, it just sort of happens. Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit.
There are some people that just like, I need a drink.
Yeah, people go out looking to get drunk. That's, I know he's saying like, oh, you have one and then here's the two. But people really, like, especially in the
Always
UK,
pushing what? I don't. Come on, one more. You'll be fine.
binge drinking. There's a Welsh hip hop group called Goldie Looking Chain. They do hip hop
Goldie
music.
Looking
Yeah, Goldie Looking Chain.
Yeah.
And it's super Welsh accent. Yeah. Like, and one of the songs is like, binge drinking. Like, something. What was I thinking? It's a great line. But like, yeah, everyone's checked out Goldie Looking Chain. They're hilarious. But yeah, not related to rock music, but
Still good laugh.
they're hilarious. Like some of this, because the topic is just a comedy group kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So like they got the song about like they're smoking weed, but they want to go out get like pizza.
Yeah.
So they drive in to get pizza, but they're paranoid about the police. So it's that song, the "We're walking in the air." You know that?
Oh, I don't know that one.
You know that the snowman, the Christmas.
Oh,
movie?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the pizza over there. We're doing illegals. I tried to hide my vacant stare. Watching you. It's like shit like that. Really fun. I'm not going to play any GLC on here, but yeah, check them out. Very fun. Welsh hip hop.
Yeah, a lot of fun, good time. And we kept fit as well. So we usually do a bit of running each day, or most of us, not everybody, but we all know who the unfit ones are.
To be fair though, like doing a gig is like a big workout for them anyway.
Well, yeah, and they're doing on their schedule as well.
Yeah, on the schedule, and like they're running around like crazy on stage, especially this
Yeah.
time, so it's enough. But yeah, important to stay in shape. Once the recording was finished, the band went their separate ways for 2 weeks. Oh, for 2 weeks. Yeah, for 2 weeks holiday. Oh, okay. I've been in Japan for too long. Holiday.
What's a holiday?
Yeah. It was then time to turn their minds to the impending monumental World Slavery Tour. Now, guys, after Somewhere in Time, we might do the live album, Live After Death, which is incredible. That album probably made them, more fans than anyone, because going to a Maiden gig is it's just not comparative to anything. So they really, really captured it really well in that DVD or video. It was
Yeah.
live album. It's very, very good, and the artwork's insane. It's very good.
With this though, so they finished recording,
Yeah,
2 weeks holiday, and then
yeah,
crack into it.
2 weeks. Yeah,
Nice.
workhorses. Dave's holiday to Egypt. I love that poster. I love that Eddie. So good.
The artwork for the album, I think, was fantastic. It just seems such a natural progression, having
I
Eddie
agree,
as-
Dave.
as
I agree.
The Mummy. So that tour, I say, especially with the stage set, the production.
I think that's a door poster.
Ah, okay.
Like one of those things you could put on the door. It looks like
Yeah.
Eddie's breaking through. Pretty cool. You know, I like it.
Eddie, it was, let's say, on Cecil B. DeMille type of proportions there, really.
It's such a big thing. When you think about it, it's such a big, epic thing to take on to try and put in a stage set. But it worked. We're playing massive venues, and we're also playing some intimate venues, like over a few nights. So we want it to be able to fit in everywhere. So it can't be like huge, but it's got to look huge. So the way it was designed was really quite clever, I think, because it actually did, even like in a theatre type setting, it actually really did look a lot bigger than it was, just because of the way that the backdrops were designed and the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great documentary on YouTube by Maiden called "It's Beast on the Road," and I don't know that one. Sorry, Behind the Beast, I think it's called. It just shows all the road crew and stuff and how they set up everything, and it's fantastic. We will do that in the
That'd be
future.
actually great to see, yeah.
It's really, really good because it shows all the like rigging and stuff and how they set up. And one of the main guys is called Ashley. And yeah, it's really fascinating to see, but we'll check that in the future. Yeah, but like I said, the stage design, you know, it's for Maiden, it's imperative, isn't it? Like you look at that backdrop,
When
so
we did
good.
Power Slave, I handled all the visuals on stage, really. I was being asked to do stuff that I'd never done before on a scale that I'd never done before. And I was also asked to stay awake for about a week, non-stop, putting the production together.
Most of it was backdrops, but they were done so well, and the visual impact was so stunning. The stage set looked so huge.
There he is, yeah. So yeah, we used the classic images, all the classic images on the, and this was one of them.
Every tour we've ever done, we have a linoleum floor, or a Marley floor they call it, which is basically lino, which has got some artwork on it. And a lot of people would only see it from pictures. I mean, it's actually stunning pieces of artwork, especially that Power Slave one.
The floor was...
Yeah, see, that's another thing too about like anything creative is like there's a lot of details that people just don't see.
Yeah, they're not going to say that,
Yeah,
right?
but without, it's something about, for you personally, without it, it's not as good.
Mhm.
So it's like guitars, like people, or any gear. Guitar is a good one because I know about that, but like when you buy a guitar, people just say, oh, it doesn't, color doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, but they do matter to you because, yeah, the guitar might sound the same,
Right.
but it's got to feel, and you got to feel, you know, it's those small details that really matter. Same as like the stage. No one's probably going to see these small details, but without it, it just doesn't look as good, you know?
I
So
think also with that stage artwork too, like it plays for the band themselves because they're not looking at the backdrop,
no.
but they can see.
Yeah,
someone's
yeah, yeah.
like, wow, this is our stage, you know. So
Yeah, it probably helps them perform more.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Especially Maiden, where like a lot of the songs are, you know, they're quite fun. You know, there's a theme or whatever.
Mm.
Helps Bruce really get into it. You know, and
Yeah.
Bruce does do it because he wears like masks and stuff like that sometimes.
right, yeah.
It's very cool.
It was a very, very complicated, intense Egyptian pattern. And we just put in lots of little messages in hieroglyphics.
They would write all different kinds of things in there, you know, different messages and stuff, and they still do. In fact, on, you know, now even on like the later tours, you know, they do the same sort of thing, put little things in there. You know, you just you know see every now and again, and it's all good fun.
So yeah, we always put little secret messages and bits and pieces on the drapes, on the floor, anywhere we can. And in homage to Derek, we've
Derek's
always,
mark.
as you see there, always put his signature on.
Good.
The centrepiece, of course, was Eddie, which I just thought was a masterpiece of kitsch. No legs, So just this huge torso. The arms were on the big motorcycle springs, so they wobbled, you know.
Like seriously though, this is like 1986, you know. And
That's pretty big, right?
Yeah, you go to see a, you know, you go see a rock band. It's good, and the music's great. But to see something like this, for like a fucking, you know, especially at the time, you know.
I remember the first time we pulled Eddie out, and it had split open, and out he'd come in all his splendour as a mummy, you know, and his freaking great big arms, like, and they were on these springs, right, and they put him too low. And his freaking hands hit me on the top of the noggin, right? And all my cymbals had gone flying. So, oi, he's too low, put him up a bit. You know, can't, we've got no room. We just got him in as it is.
There were snakes and things coming out with little plastic rubber snakes dangling out of his mouth and things like that. And the road crew would dress it all up and everything. And it's little touches like that, you know, makes it real. And gives you confidence to go out in front of it and go, yes, I'm standing in front of a raggedy skeleton covered in bandages. Rock! Because if you don't believe it, you can't do it.
Yeah, that's true. And Bruce has always been very good at that. That's why I think you know, some of the lyrics that Steve has written and whatever, you're like, all right, how am I going to sell this? The next album is a good example of that, because a lot of the songs, Bruce basically didn't write anything on the next album, but he performs it quite well. And like some of the topics are like, oh, okay. He really does sell it really well. Without him being like that, it wouldn't be as strong as you think. But yeah, fantastic.
Going back to that stage set though, it's like, that Eddie's massive, right?
It's huge.
So when you think about like these days, a live show would be like, it'd just be a massive screen.
Yes, yeah.
There's something about practical effects, right?
It can't be practical effects. Even like, you know, like Alien and those movies, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it really does help. I know it's hard work. I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
But it's worth it in the end, you know? A lot of digital stuff, you know it's digital. You're
That's
like,
all they had then too. So
exactly.
And what a job, man.
Being creative, né?
Yeah.
Like I read a book once about, I think it's called like something about choice, like I don't know, but it was like a woman that did an experiment where she went to like a farmer's market and she took 10 jams.
Yeah.
And barely anyone bought it because it's like, oh, which one? The next day she went with 3 jams and she sold a ton.
Okay.
Because humans are just not very good when it's like, we're worried about missing out. Oh, if I get blueberry, then I'm missing out on strawberry. But there's only 3. You just, you know, there's more chance.
Yeah,
so in the digital age now, like, let's say we do this video and I go to edit it. I'm like, oh, okay, a transition. There's like 100 different ones.
Oh, yeah, right.
Which one do I choose? And honestly, it doesn't matter. But you're like, but then I want to make it as good as possible. But you can't just like do 100 prints of the video and double check. You got to make a decision.
That's it. Yeah.
These guys didn't really have. They were like, oh, we need a big mummy. How do we do it? Right, paper, mache, whatever. Just get
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and even though it's physically harder, it's actually easier because you know what you're going for.
Yeah.
We know what we want. Now it's like we almost have everything, and like, which one do we use?
Too much choice.
It is difficult. It is difficult. Yeah.
The reaction was incredible. It's like, how did I do this? And the biggest question of all was, how does Eddie work? The great big Eddie at the back, and how the walk on Eddie works. Some people said he was a puppet. Is he a robot? You know, in fact, one guy even wrote in and said, "Did you have someone surgically altered to play Eddie?"
Muppet.
Yeah, right. Great British rock icons, if not world rock icons, and there aren't very many. I can't even think of any artists actually who've kept that theme all the way through and loved it, nurtured it, and made it theirs.
At the St. Louis gig after the show, somebody stole the torso. I mean, it was huge. You know, and it was the torso, it disappeared. I mean, it just, you can imagine 2 guys running down the street with this big mummified.
How'd that work?
How do you hide something like that?
I don't know.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm thinking like was it like, it couldn't have been like let's just grab it and run.
You'd
right?
need a lot of people to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that,
right?
right?
It must have planned it or something. That's odd.
It's even hard enough. Let's pop it on the back of the truck.
Yeah.
How big's your truck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It must. Well, who knows? I mean, It's funny because someone has that somewhere.
Of course, that was a disaster, you know. So we had to get the seamstress out of the wardrobe lady. What we did was we went out and bought a load of bath towels and made up that we layered them. We had them layer them to make up another body until we replaced the foam
See, thinking,
torso
adapt.
for
That's it.
and Eddie. And I remember we'd be standing at the side of the stage, and every night it would come up, and we'd all be saying, "There's Eddie just out the shower again."
Sometimes I turn up.
Great.
My amplifier has been moved to incorporate a stage set, and I will not have that. I'd say.
All right, there we go. See, Adrian Smith is the I'm a guitar player, musician. Don't move my amps. Don't move my stuff. And I get it.
don't like it.
Yeah, because in the day, and also his job in the band really is just to play the guitar.
Mm.
So for him to do that the best that he can, don't move my bloody amps.
There's an argument to be had.
Right?
Mm.
So which is more important? Eddie's hand being perfectly on the screen in the video or Adrian's amps? It's no contest.
Right.
The band members come first, for sure.
Hey, look, you put my amps back where they're supposed to be, and I don't care what Eddie's doing. My amps are there, and that's it.
In the 20 years that's gone past, you've got so much happening in films and that now that people just see and take for granted, which they didn't then.
Okay, that's a good point too, right? With Iron Maiden, like it's very easy to listen. Metal now is like metal, low tune guitars, kind of like the topics are like like real topics or whatever. And Maiden are in standard tuning, and they're talking about Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, kind of thing, and it can seem a bit like, oh, this is cheesy.
No, they're very educational.
Yeah, very educational. And Maiden is a bit cheesy in context of that. But at the time, man, in the 80s, they were heavy as fuck, man. They were like really
They were doing
heavy.
just what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. And, there's heavier bands, whatever, but like, Iron Maiden were comparatively heavy, compared to, but now they would not even touching anything, is it,
So seeing a live show like that was just, was unbelievable at the time. And it was, it was just massive theatre type thing.
The feathered face mask. Oh my God, yeah. Strolling down Santa Monica Avenue in Los Angeles and walking past
Ooh,
a
sexy.
stockist of homoerotic paraphernalia. Lots of leather shirts and chaps and things like that. And then next door is this big feather type mask. And I thought, that looks like a hawk's head, which was sort of tied in with the whole power slave. So I thought, maybe I'll wear that, thinks I. Wander in there. Excuse me, I'd like a big mask in the window. But not the pointy one, just a cute one. Well, if you see what I mean. I said, I'm going to be dressing as a bird. If you... Just give me the mask.
Bruce got a cool mask, and he's still doing this kind of stuff to this day. Bruce has still got like a lot of, on stage costume changes and things like that, and it all helps, man. It's fun. It's good fun.
And I just loved that set. I loved it.
That's great.
Like a podium powder for days. A big tray of fire that used to go up.
Ooh. Nice and smoky too.
Okay, see, and also as well, like now everything is done. So remember we talked about before about the whole laptop situation.
Right, yep.
How like, oh my God, their laptops got stolen. That's not rock and roll. But like everything is tied now to the laptop's clock.
Right. Yeah.
The pyro, the lights is all connected to that. So during these days, it was all just like, look behind the curtain. All right, go
now,
kind of thing. And of course, things are gonna happen. You're gonna miss cues, whatever. But having it automatic, even like guitar amps now. I mean, everyone's using, for example, like the Quad Cortex or Axe Effects, which is like digital amps. Metallica use them too. I think Iron Maiden haven't gone that route, but like they're all programmed to change the sound.
Yeah.
So if there's a clean sound or a heavy sound, like Metallica go from clean to heavy all the time, you know, the intro to like Enter Sam or whatever.
Right.
And usually you'd have to like press the button with your foot to change to the distorted sound. It's all automatic now.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. So the band can perform. They can focus on performing instead of just faffing about with pedals and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think that's great. But during this time, mate, all right, light the fire.
No!
She was standing the wrong way and the wind was a little bit wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
I did singe my nose hairs on a few occasions.
Uh-oh, they're off to Poland. Look at that, though. Poland, Austria, Hungary, Yugoslavia, Italy, France, Spain, and Portugal. Fantastic European tour. 1984.
Going to Poland in '84. We decided we wanted to go, and it was still very much Eastern Bloc. And we got paid in zlotys, which you can't even change, and we got paid very little. I mean, it costs us a fortune to go there. We wanted to go and play, but
all right, so there you go. See, that's interesting. So they got paid very little, and it cost them a lot to go there. So from a marketing perspective, you know, when now they know that Poland is becoming not part of the Soviet Union, etc.
Right, yeah.
So there's a chance, you know, there's a market there. You know, so I think it's a risk worth taking.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's sometimes you gotta spend money to make money, right? And
they could have easily said, forget it.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a dangerous place to go as well, isn't it? You know, but yeah, I mean, it worked out really worked out.
we thought we'd rehearse there, do the rehearsal tour, and you know, but no one had ever taken a full production there.
And there we go. Rehearsal tour is very important. We've all seen now because of YouTube, every beginning of a gig of a tour is online.
Yeah,
it's not fair. They're warming up, man.
Yeah,
like the new tour, the Iron Maiden tour. They played Alexander the Great for the first time. Of course, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't expect anything less, you know. But it's on YouTube now. Oh, they fucked it up. This shit, you know. It's, like, it's not fair.
But I think UFO and Uriah Heep had played the Eastern Bloc before that, but they'd just gone in with just like real basic gear and everything like that. We were the first band, to my knowledge anyway, in '84 to go into places like Poland and take the full Monty, the full show.
Full Monty, do you know that word? That phrase?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Good. It doesn't mean naked man. Well, it can mean.
We took everywhere else.
Imagine the first show you've seen in your life is Power Slave. My God, it must be a real drag after that.
Then, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you're in Poland, you know, you're just getting out of the, you know, Eastern Bloc mentality, and you get to see Iron Maiden playing Power Slave and the hits with a full backdrop and everything.
Blow your mind, man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's one of the most theatrical shows, rock shows ever. I mean, it was a phenomenal show.
Oh man, the excitement must have been so
never
big.
Seen a band before, and they're in the Maiden, then they get Power Slave. They were going nuts.
Yeah.
It was hysteria, really. It was just incredible. I mean, the reaction of the fans was just unbelievable. I know.
Right, front row back in these days before the safety regulations.
Nuts, man.
You're dead, you know, you're dead.
Never forget it, because it was really, you know, quite sort of goosebump time, really, you know, when you see that kind of reaction.
Shit.
You could tell how much joy you're bringing to all these kids. The place was packed.
See, I would say that Iron Maiden, they bring me joy. I just enjoy listening to them.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I know it's cheesy and blah, 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 but they bring me joy. Joy.
It's 6 shows, I think, about 10,000 people capacities. And they had the soldiers lined up in front of the stage for security. As soon as the band came on, the hats went in the air and they just joined the kids.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right? Fuck it.
Imagine, we're doing what? Yeah, I'll do security.
Yeah. what do we do? Stand and look the other way. Like I used to think that when I was a kid watching football, like the stewards are just looking at the crowd, watching the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm like, I couldn't do it. Even like I just would just want to look around, you know. We have to be watching these people all the time who are screaming shit or whatever. It's kind of crazy, right? Yeah.
There was loads of security and like cars outside with water cannon things on them all lined up, and we thought, oh no, you know, it looks really ominous. But in actual fact, most of the security forces or whatever, they were all fans, you know. They were all into it, you know. They all were trying to get in the gig and, you know, throwing their hats about and stuff. And you know, we sort of kept as many of them as we could.
And we collected all this stuff in a flight case, you know, there's a hat, there's all these badges
Why not, right?
and stuff and jackets, you know, for the military. And it was all confiscated, you know, this stuff can't leave the country, it's got to stay here, which is fair enough, you know.
That's interesting, right? Sure, they got some out.
They must have got a hat or two throughout, you know.
Something, yeah.
You just walk around his house with a Polish army military hat on. Yeah, I'd keep it too, man. Oh my god. Talking of a military hat, though, I talked about before that I played Grand Theft Auto online.
Yeah.
So in the game, you can have crews, you know, like a group, you know, like a team kind of thing. Anyway, I joined this crew like a couple of years ago, and my whole outfit in the game is underwear and a sailor's hat with big glasses on. And when I joined this crew, I did it because, you know, you help each other do whatever. They would take like monthly photos of the crew, you know, and post it on Facebook, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And they were like, okay, but take the hat off. I was like, no, I'm not taking the hat off.
No.
I'm not taking the hat off. It's staying on. And basically they all got really pissed off. And I was like, oh, I'm leaving the crew. I'm not staying with this crew. If I can't wear my captain's hat, I'm leaving.
Just not you, is it?
Yeah, and I left. And yeah, that was it. Is that petty? Who's petty? Them or me?
I don't know.
Well,
it was phenomenal ride. And you just felt you're doing something. You know, you felt, in some ways, you felt you're going to weaken the wall. Plus, you were going out there, just showing people a different way. And it was very memorable, very memorable.
You feel the blues, the rock. It's goddamn, it's good.
I like the heavy metal. Yeah. But I would like to play the heavy metal by synthesizers. You can't play heavy metal with synthesizers.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Well.
I just love that conversation.
Yeah. I like the heavy metal, but I want to hear heavy metal with synthesizers.
You can't.
No, you can't play heavy metal with synthesizers. Steve. Now, talking of that, right, I was in the car yesterday listening to Maiden on shuffle.
I thought you guys. I was in the car playing the synthesizer.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I just sold a synthesizer, though.
Oh.
How to say. But on the new album, there's a song, and I was listening to the song, and there's just a keyboard in it.
Yeah.
Like playing one note over the guitar.
Yeah. That was it?
It just ruins it. Absolutely ruins it. Now, we are going to talk about the album in a year or two.
It wasn't a new member just to play the keyboard?
No, well, the bloody bass tech does all the keyboard stuff.
Oh.
But on the song, like, what is it adding? The next album, Somewhere in Time, they use guitar synths. And it adds a lot.
Okay.
The album next to that, they add synths and it adds a lot. Then Steve just goes mental with synths and just puts on everything. And sometimes, man, it works really well. And sometimes it's just really distracting. And on the new album, the synths are just, I don't know, the pitch of it is so high and annoying and abrasive. Anyway, sorry guys, but you can play heavy metal with synthesizers. He did it on 2 albums, which worked really well. But later on, not so good.
We were kind of invited to go to this wedding reception, and I think the night the bride and groom, you know, Iron Maiden, do you want to get
Polish
up and play?
wedding, Iron Maiden.
So
cool
we
is
actually
Amazing.
went up and played. We actually played at this Polish wedding reception, and it was great. I think we'd done like Smoke on the Water.
Love it.
So good. They probably have no idea who they are.
We'd had a few drinks before that. And we just thought, oh, why not? Everyone was so pissed from the wedding anyway, they didn't seem to care. And then when they found out who we were and all that as well, they were like, come in. It was great fun.
Rod and I disappeared, and we came back at the wee hours, like 6, 7 in the morning when the bus was ready to leave. Arm round each other, singing at the top of our smoke on the water. The pair of us, weaving backwards and forwards across the road.
Hey, buddy.
They loved
Canada?
Maiden, and every American tour would have a Canadian leg in it.
Canada, man. That's Iron Maiden's bread and butter, really.
Yeah.
A lot of Canadian fans, they sell like platinum there. They, it's a big thing.
Love them.
Yeah, Canada's the place, man. It's awesome. But look at that. They're in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Sudbury. I don't know much about I think it's British Columbia is the western side of Canada. Quebec is the gross French part. Ottawa, I think, is a bit Frenchy too. And then Toronto, or Toronto, as it is, yeah. But I think Halifax, Nova Scotia, right? Now, there is another podcast called Talking Maiden, and it's 2 guys from that area, I believe. It's fantastic, amazing, really, really good. They're just 2 mates, but I think they're both like computer technicians or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They travel around to watch Maiden quite a lot. It's a really, really good podcast, and in the future we'll talk about that, because I remember hearing them talk about a thing about Iron Maiden's lyrics where like Bruce can't believe what he's seeing, like my eyes, I can't believe what I'm, and it's quite a recurring theme. So I'm gonna like quote them in the future when it happens. But in the next album, there's a lot of that. But yeah, Canada. Yeah. Hey guy. Come on, guy. Oh, there you go. There's the Western Australia. Sorry, Canada, Vancouver. That's the British Columbia, I believe. Who knows?
They played Canada from, I think it was December the 1st to December the 21st. And we drove from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Vancouver with like 4 days off in Regina in the Holiday Inn in blizzards. And it wasn't so much it was not fun with them, it was just miserable. It was like being in the Arctic.
Cold, man.
But whenever some record company people would come, he would line up, the band would line up with them, or he'd line up with them doing this, and I'd have to take like 10 frames and give them the roll of film, so they could use it for the local reps or whatever they wanted. So Steve Harris and I got really fed up with this. So Steve came up with the idea, well, I may have come up with it, of at the end of the roll of film, we all just took pictures of our bollocks.
Bollocks, for the little American audience, means the old testes. Or what was the word? Scroogles?
Oh, Kugels.
Kugels, that's the one. Yeah, Kugels. Yeah.
And our dicks, and like held our asses open and took pictures.
Well, I gotta say, it wasn't me that did it.
Yeah, all right.
Sure.
I didn't really do that, but I think one or 2 people did, yeah. I'm not going to mention names, but I think you could probably guess who they were.
You can't just do that. That's, there's no evidence of it.
Pride.
I know, pride.
We shoot half the film normally, then half of it would just be like penises and arses and balls. And we'd give them the role of the film. And to this day, I was always expecting Rod to call me up and go crazy, like, what the fucking hell's that? And to this day, no one's ever mentioned it.
Yeah, boys will be boys.
I mean, what are you going to do? Like, how dare you send us a picture of your testicles?
Right.
Whatever.
There'd be plenty of, drinking. I remember one time in a hotel in Toronto ordering 200 B-52s off the waitress at once.
What's a B-52?
I don't know. What is in a B-52?
It's an airplane, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be a cocktail.
I have no idea. What is it? Let us know.
And they came on these big trays. I'm sure Rod will remember it. We drank every one of them. The band and all the roadies had come along, all the crew, everybody would show up, and you'd have to have a few days off afterwards, but hey, there you go.
Wait a minute, go back. This photo's hilarious. Look at Dave Murray's scarf. What's up with that? And what's Bruce wearing too? He's got like a.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a really odd photo. Steve's wearing like a. What is he wearing too? Oh, like,
some good volume there.
Yeah, look at the guys in the back. I mean, come on. All right, so Nico is after looking at, you can see his broken nose. Steve's like rolled up his sleeves to show up his tattoos as well. Like those on people don't have those tattoos anymore, right? Like
the forearm,
tattoo, yeah. It's kind of like
these days it's just full sleeve.
Right, yeah. That's interesting. Actually, I didn't think about that. The guy in the middle looks fun, and even Adrian's at the bottom, kind of smiling. And is that a wig? The blondie
must be.
That can't be real hair, is it? Oh my god! How funny! I was distracted by hair once because we live in Japan. I got tickets to a kabuki show. I thought let's go check it out. I've never been to one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I gotta say, I was really bored. But in front of me was this man in like a pinstripe suit. He must have been 80 to 90 years old.
Yeah.
But he had a thick head of hair.
Yeah.
Clearly a wig. But I was just, the whole time I was looking at him, like trying to see what the lines were. It was so distracting. I was like, oh, no way. But yeah, he was a very confident guy anyway. But yeah, nice guy. Great photo.
Up and you'd have to have a few days off afterwards, but hey, there you go. It was okay when you were young.
One thing I've got to say about Rod is that you could be as badly behaved as you wanted because he was as badly behaved as you. And whenever you'd wake up the next day and you'd think, oh shit, what did we do last night? He's going to go mad. And he would go, bloody hell, mate, that was great. We were going for it.
They got this transvestite in.
Transvestite. Is that a guy? That's just no. I think a transvestite is a guy that's just dressed up, pretending to be a girl.
Right.
I think. I don't know the terminology, but I haven't heard that word in a long time.
Yeah, actually.
For my birthday in Montreal. And that sticks in my mind, but not for the right reasons.
We used to live the life a bit and used to get a bit run down, feel sorry for yourself, but you get up the next day and do it again.
See, I don't drink very often. There was a little small period where I tried drinking and...
What, you actually really...
Yeah, I was like, right, I'm going to go out and, drink,
I'm going to become a borderline alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, I started drinking like, Jaeger bombs and shit like that. And
oh, okay.
Yeah.
You really did make an effort.
Yeah, I did try, you know, and it just didn't go very well. I had a few hangovers and I was like, oh, nah, put me off very badly.
Oh, hangovers aren't good.
Are you?
And then when you get older?
Yeah, do you get bad ones?
They last a week these days.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they can. Anyway.
Like, how bad, like, when you were younger, did you have bad ones too?
That's the thing. Yeah, you have bad ones, but for some reason you could still, like, snap back the next day and go to another party.
I see.
Oh, these days.
No chance, right? All right.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have much experience. Actually, I bought a big, there's a shop in Japan called Yamaya, which is like an alcohol store, but I buy coffee from there because they're very good.
And banana daiquiris.
Sadly not there. But I bought the coffee and they gave me a free, alcohol-free Heineken sample.
How was that?
It was amazing. Actually delicious. Yeah. I like Heineken. It's delicious, but it's one of the beers I really like. But she gave it to me and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's non-alcohol. I was like, I don't drink.
Hey!
Perfect for me, love. Yeah. But yeah, I was very lucky. Buffalo, New York. I was
Buffalo.
Yeah, because I was confused about New York State and New York City.
Yeah.
And Buffalo is right on the border between Canada and America.
Oh,
so it's like it's quite popular for like Canadians to go over the border to get some cheap stuff. They're going to Brazil. Now we know, guys, Brazil and Maiden go together like butter and toast. They love them, and half of them. But let me talk about something as well. Is that when in a couple albums, Bruce is gone, and Adrian's gone, Blaze is in. And they do kind of have to like run away to Brazil to make good enough money. Because in the UK and America, they were playing like small clubs basically during that time.
Oh, wow.
And Brazil's always there for them.
Yeah.
But they can't speak English, right? So they started trying to like construct more songs where like melodies they can go like, whoa.
Just to get the crowd.
Yeah.
Going on.
It becomes a bit too much, in my opinion, but
Mm.
I understand. But yeah, Brazil,
Mm.
great place for Iron Maiden. Rock in Rio album 2002 is so good. The video, the album, amazing.
Hey, come on.
Hey, come on.
Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, yeah!
That works.
So you do.
The first Rock in Rio was in 1985. It was about 10-day events, and they had, it's just everybody. Everybody from metal was there. It was just unbelievable bill. Scorps, Priest, Leopard, Ozzy, Schenker. I mean, just Whitesnake. I mean, every band worth anything was on the.
Whitesnake.
Mm.
Is this love? I've been
feeling
that I'm feeling. Is this love? Oh, that song is so
good. Can I hear it in my heart?
See, as much as I love Iron Maiden, like I love they try a ballad in a couple of albums, right? And it's good, but it's not quite David.
No, but that song, sorry, I bought that on vinyl just for that song.
Just for that song?
Just for that song, man.
It's great, man. Oh, see, even that song is a good example of just like, you don't need a lot.
No.
Just that dun, 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 harmonics were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The bill there.
We sold quite.
Jesus. Okay, funny thing about Brazilians and South America, they love Jesus. A lot of the football players are always loving Jesus. And in Cuba too, there's a lot. I remember a couple of years ago, there's a UFC fighter, and he's from Cuba. Romero. He can't speak English very well.
Yeah.
But he won a fight, and after the interview, he's like, "Hey, say no to gay Jesus." Say no to gay Jesus. So
does he?
He didn't mean to say that, but that's how it came across, and everyone's like, "What is he saying? Don't homosexuals, whatever?" But he just, he's not a native English speaker. But the way he said no to gay Jesus.
Does he have a walkout song?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
We almost in South America, but we hadn't really done many gigs down there at all. So it was a fantastic opportunity to go down there and play that many people, because obviously at Rock in Rio, people come from all over South America to go to that. And that was really, really, a good show for us.
When we got to the hotel, there was thousands of kids outside there, and like Queen was staying in the hotel, and things like Whitesnake and a lot of the bands were there, so they were all out there to, hanging out, and you could hear them cheering. So you come up, and it'd take half an hour just to get there and in the hotel, and you have to go to the underground car park. So basically, you'd go there, but you couldn't leave the hotel. You'd look out, and there's.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reality for a lot of bands, they go to a lot of places, but they don't really get to see it.
Yeah.
When you're that level, they can't just walk down the street, can they? I mean...
Right, exactly.
What happened?
Copacabana and stuff, and you see this, but you were basically a prisoner. I remember one morning sort of getting in pretty late and sort of like, waking up, opening the doors in the hotel balcony, and I sort of stuck naked, just to, and right across the balcony, the fans are on the roofs now because they're sort of working their way across. It's like, Maiden, it's like, yeah, boom, close the door. It was like, run away. But that's how the fans were really, they were getting everywhere. They were kind of getting in the woodwork.
Oh, crazy fans. They are absolutely insane down there in a nice way. I would say that part of the world is probably the most, fanatical Maiden fans there are. Really.
Yeah, there's like a priest, Brazilian priest, who has like covered in Iron Maiden tattoos, stuff like that.
Nice.
Brazilian fans love Maiden. Like,
He took helicopters into the show, and it was huge. They built the whole arena, vast arena, just for this one-off, and it's partly someone's political aspirations. It's partly tied in with doing something for the community. Whether it worked or not, I don't really know. But it so worked for the bands.
see, that song is a great song, Revelations, but live.
Yeah.
But even like, I'm sure they probably were doing this in America, but I reckon in Brazil is the place where they really would hone this kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're not English speakers, so they're not like, they're more interested in the actual melodies and things like that. Yeah.
Although we went back and played Rio later, they actually put a cap on the amount of people you allowed. Whereas when we played there with Queen, it was just, you know, it was one of them early things where they just let, you know, as many people in as possible or whatever, and it was like, apparently it was 300, supposedly anyway, 300,000 people there. So that still is the biggest gig we've ever played.
We turned up in the afternoon, the crowd was just, wow. I think at that time there's probably about 300,000. From the stage, you just see a sea of people going way up. So we thought, wow, let's see if we could see the back of them. So Nick and myself, we climbed up the lighting rig, up the truss. 11 went right to the very top, and you still couldn't see at the back because it was overwhelming.
See, a lot of people talk about like playing on a stage where like there's so many people. But actually, the more people, the better, because you can't zone in on any faces.
You're right. It's just kind of a backdrop for you.
The hard one is when there's a lot, like it's like 5 people there, and everyone's looking at you. Like, it's more intimidating. More people is better. Yeah. So. Scream for me, Brazil. I love when he does that. Scream for me, Brazil.
We actually went on. We were fired up. I suppose in a way because we weren't the headline act. We were like directly on before Queen, and I think on before us was Whitesnake and a lot of others.
Man, Whitesnake, Iron Maiden, and Queen. What a lineup!
That's a bit of a lineup, man.
So good, man. Oh, and like so different too, man.
Yeah, actually.
You know, a bit of like power ballady stuff from Whitesnake. You know,
all very different bands.
Hard shit from Iron Maiden, and then you get a bit of Queen as well, man. You can't what a lucky
And so
bunch
the
of lads.
pressure wasn't really on us; it was on Queen, really. And we had a fantastic show. Went down great, and it was actually really nice because after Brian May afterwards said he thought it was a fantastic show, and they thought they had to really work hard to get the crowd going over and above what we got. So that was a nice compliment. I didn't see it like that when I thought that I watched them afterwards.
Mate, Brian May is a nice guy.
Yeah.
And quite genuine, so he probably meant it.
And I thought they went down fantastic. Anyway, maybe he was just being nice, but we did go
Yeah, he was. He's a nice guy.
down amazingly well.
He plays with a coin, no pick, a bloody penny.
A penny.
Yeah, some like an old British penny he plays with, and his guitar he made it himself with his dad.
That's nice.
Nice guy.
Bruce was, diving around the stage as always and ran straight to Davey and split his face. This was televised right across South America live with a repeat and probably other parts of the world later. So he splits his eye and there's blood everywhere. And it comes around and says, what should I do? What should I do? He says, find the nearest camera. Just great shots of Bruce right in the camera. Blood everywhere. It's brilliant.
A little taste of South America, and they were just amazing, the response and reaction. It was a different kettle of fish down there, really.
Different kettle of fish. Good phrase. What does it mean?
Different type of fish.
Yeah, just totally different.
Yes, a kettle.
Different kettle of fish, man. So,
Not for coffee.
No.
Not for your hot water.
No. But it just means that Brazil is crazy and other places are less crazy. Different kettle of fish. Oh, do you have a kettle?
Not here.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I have one here because, I do like to make a little cup of tea now and again, bring me back to my roots, my British roots. Here we are. Iron Maiden. Fantastic British export. Don't you think?
I say, do you like this heavy metal thing?
Listen, you colonial dog. Don't talk until I address you directly, boy.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. January 1985, the World Slavery Tour rolls into New York City for 7 sold-out nights at Radio City Music Hall.
Bring on World Slavery.
Come on, World Slavery Tour. Tour.
Power Slave was the full deal. It was massive expectation from fans. It was the biggest production to this day we've ever taken with us, most elaborate.
I'd have to say that Rod is an absolute genius for planning, plus he's a genius for listening. And he's always listened to the advice I've given him and the way I've felt that the band have needed to develop in terms of what shows to play.
All right. This guy said Rod is a genius because you listen to him.
Hang on.
You listen to me, you're a genius. What a weird way to say it. And he's like on the chair like this, like back, like, yeah. I mean, Anthony listen to me, what a genius. What a dickhead.
What shows not to play. And I think we've made a great team.
Do you know, man?
Oh, that guy's gross. He's Australian too, man. Bloody Australians.
Manager's got to have ambition for his guys. You know, otherwise, you got to own up to being the competitive, ambitious motherfucker. Otherwise, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Yep.
You know, I mean, my job is to get the guys every opportunity musically, but also every success commercially within our defined limits of what we're prepared to do.
The balance between what is right in terms of the integrity of the band and what is right commercially was always a very interesting debate. I mean,
now that's a big thing too with Maiden, because they don't want to do the whole like let's sell out and be a, whatever band.
Yeah,
they want to keep, the purity, but at the same time, that's just not real world.
Yeah,
you've got to, do those kind of things, and commercials and lines. You sadly, we live in the world that we live in.
Yeah,
and you've either got to play ball or just not.
There's always a balance to that too, right? There are some people that are full on sellouts.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's like I've talked about this before, but like that's why video games are so popular. When you play a video game, you get to choose your character, the name, you can choose all the custom stuff, whatever, and you start from level 1. But the world, when you're born, the game's already started.
Right.
You can't, it is how it is, and it sucks, and that's why mentally it can be like a bit like, oh my god, so. It's just not easy to live sometimes in the world because wherever you mentally are, you could be just not happy at all.
But that's why we have things like music, video games, movies. We need escapism.
Exactly. You got to find the thing that you love. And for me, when I found Iron Maiden, I just, I was like, I'm a happy boy now. Mommy, I'm happy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. What about you? I'm sure it was beer, right? This guy.
Sorry.
What's the thing you reckon that you like? No, I would say like that's it. Joy. That's a good word.
Yeah.
What brings you joy? Like in your early years, like
my early years 20s. Was back when I was like high school and in a band.
Yeah.
When all the time you had was either going to play the guitar or put that down and pick up a control and play a game.
Yeah.
And then go drink with friends after.
There we go. See,
there
joy.
You go.
Find your joy.
And
they can.
Hey.
I'd sometimes get offered sponsorship deals that anybody would love to take for the amount of money, but I even knew in presenting them to Rod and the band that they were going to say no because they didn't fit the integrity of the band. So I reached the point eventually of just turning them down before I presented them.
Maiden didn't fit anywhere at that point, because we were still unashamedly either heavy or just too difficult. You couldn't play a 13-minute track on American radio.
True. They're either too heavy or just too difficult.
Yeah.
We got one song we like, but it's 30 minutes long. Can you cut it down? Yeah, we'll cut it down to 11 minutes.
We never go on the airplane.
What are you going to do?
It was all word of mouth. What I call the jungle drums of metal. A good band kids will talk about. I mean, now as a web makes it much easier. But those days it was just word of mouth. And word of mouth on Maine was remarkable.
We went out and we just grabbed.
Listen, man, I hear this band the other day called Iron Maiden.
Yeah?
Yeah, and like, I swear to God, man, it is the heaviest stuff you've ever heard in your life.
I've known.
White Snake? Imagine that, but like not singing about love, and like the guitars are really heavy.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man, you should check it out.
I will.
The covers and stuff, it's like this zombie-looking guy called Eddie. That's so cool, man, so cool. That's right there.
Fans with the music and with the live performance.
But I did think, oh man, this band is just getting beyond your wildest dreams.
The band was getting very big very quickly, and it was a bit scary. I mean, I don't think I even realised it at the time, but the responsibility, every night walking out and playing to all those people every night for months and months and months, and it did wear you down a bit.
I wasn't experienced myself, realising that it takes more out of you to deliver expectation than it is to create expectation. And I think that's what it was.
Absolutely. It's, it's when you're on top,
Yeah.
It's harder. It's not. You can't maintain it, you know.
Mhm.
And especially these guys. Even if you love playing the guitar, if you get to play the guitar every day, the same songs over and over,
Oh, that
you know,
would, yeah.
it's not easy. And it's that goes to anyone, any artist, whatever.
Because isn't like Slash really hates Sweet Child of Mine or something
I'm
like
sure he
that?
does. I mean, for God's sake,
And
like
how
you know.
much cash has he got from
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Well, it's that you gotta like. You can be both. You can understand that. Oh, for fuck this song again. Why do you want to hear that song again?
You really then have to be in a right mental state then to
Yeah.
keep that going. It's like, no, hang on.
Yeah.
This isn't just about me anymore,
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's why people fall off, man. I mean it's not easy to do, especially if you have a hit song that you don't really like, whatever. Like Nirvana got famous from what's the album called? Nevermind.
Yeah.
But like Butch Vig basically like tricked Kurt into recording like doubled vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when he heard the mix, he's like, I fucking hate it. But they blew up and got rich from it. So it's like, what do we do? You know? But yeah, good times. Good times.
Playing these huge venues and they were selling out. You got to keep the momentum going. We've got to keep going. I don't think we realised how far we pushed ourselves when when suddenly it started to collapse. We all started
yeah
to fall apart. You know?
Oh, Bruce would talk forever about that. About, oh God, I thought I was going to die. Oh, you've never done that too.
We're good. All right, so we'll leave it there, right? So we'll finish this off after we do Somewhere in Time, which is the next album.
Hey.
So we're going to listen to that we have been listening to it. Well, let's check it out for a week and let's go track by track. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this because this is a great album. One of the classic ones, but a lot of like underrated songs on there where you're like, oh, I forgot about that one. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
I am already started listening to it. So again, it's funny, because a lot of this is new for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
It's fantastic. So yeah, listen to imaidenbaby@gmail.com. Email us your thoughts and feelings, whatever, and sign up for us on Patreon at Patreon. Listen to Maiden Baby, I guess what it is. Very easy.
What was your passion in your younger years? Let us know.
Yeah. What's your joy? Joyful.
Joy. Your muse.
Yeah, most people like drinking and girls, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Iron Maiden probably didn't get any of those.
Probably.
No, I'm joking. But seriously, anything that is making you want to get up in the morning and go, fuck yeah, let's do it, is worth it. Iron Maiden for me, I love driving and just cranking Maiden.
Yeah,
it's just so fun. It's so fun. It's just a great driving band too. Yeah, so we'll be back next time with the first episode of Somewhere in Time, you know? Caught somewhere in time. Oh, what a line. But once again, Steve watched a movie, wrote a bunch of songs. That's how it is.
It all begins again.
It is, yeah. Anyway, so what should we play us out with? Let's play out with a bit of Twilight Zone. Diddling in. Paul isn't trained. Ready? Okay, is this trained, Paul? Can you see me? No, we can't because he got fired. Catch you next time.
Take it easy.